Think back. Have you ever felt a sudden shift in the air around you? A stillness that wasn't quite right? Or perhaps just out of focus? A feeling you weren't entirely alone, even in an empty room? What if those weren't just tricks of light or tired eyes, but something else noticing you? This is Lady Lenore, your guide from the shadows. Tonight, step with me to Avilla, Missouri, a place known only in fear. Nestled near the Ozarks and close to the Kansas border, this is where the silence holds its breath and remembers. Here, something old waits quietly, always listening. Tonight, my dear Raven, you are there. The city's noise still hums in your ears. It's relentless, a grating sound you can't shake, built up over years. A constant pressure, work, traffic, endless demands, always switched on. Not a sudden crisis, but a slow, grinding exhaustion settling deep into your bones. You felt stretched thin, worn down. You needed out. You needed quiet. You began searching for homes, craving solitude, seeking places where the city noise couldn't follow. Then this house in Avilla appeared, cheap, secluded, quiet. It seemed too good to be true. You remember asking the realtor why the price was so low. Her answer was vague, filled with jargon, market adjustments, comparable sales data, optimizing listing appeal. It wasn't really an answer, but the price was right. You desperately needed this escape. A week ago, you drove down for a brief visit to sign the final papers. While there, grabbing coffee and a quick sense of the town, local chatter hummed around you, mostly unnoticed. But your gaze fell on a faded flyer pinned to the community board, the annual Avilla bonfire. Traditional storytelling, local tales. You caught whispers about rotten Johnny Reb and shadows glimpsed from the corner of your eye. Legends you would normally dismiss, now given unsettling context by the flyer. Still, all that mattered was finalizing the deal and leaving the city's strain behind. Your car crunches gravel as you pull up to your new home. Here, no traffic hum reaches you. Only the high, dry rustle of leaves skittering across pavement. The silence isn't merely an absence of noise. It presses in, thick and still. You don't recall this particular quiet from the walkthrough. Yet, this is exactly what you wanted. Stepping out of the car, crisp, clean air hits your face. The house looms ahead, still and silent, promising peace. As you approach the porch, something catches your eye. Leaning against the railing, partially hidden behind an overgrown bush, is a painting. It's not yours. You pause, confused. Reaching out, your fingers brush the cool, rough wood of the frame. You pull it free, turning it over in your hands, and then you see it clearly. It's this house, the very one you just bought, painted in astonishing detail. A genuine smile crosses your face, dissolving the lingering tension from the city. Oh, wow, you say aloud, genuinely delighted by this quirky find. A housewarming gift? From the realtor, perhaps. How thoughtful, unexpected, charming. Instantly you like it. A warm feeling blooms inside you. You think, this definitely needs to go inside. Carrying the painting through the front door, cool, quiet air settles around you. Your footsteps echo softly in the empty rooms. Looking around, you decide it belongs upstairs, in the hallway. You carry it up, quickly find the perfect spot, and hang it. Stepping back, you admire your new, unexpected art piece, smiling again. Then, returning downstairs, you start the long process of settling in. The quiet solitude now fills with cardboard scraping across wood floors and the soft rustle of packing paper. Hours melt away as you unpack, slowly making the space your own. This is good. This is exactly what you needed. Later that afternoon, you're upstairs sorting through boxes near the hallway. Your eyes drift toward the painting. The tiny porch light on the painted house appears to glow, a soft, yellowish light that's impossible on canvas. Standing just beside the door, right at the porch's edge, is a shape, a dark figure. You freeze, your breath catching sharply in your throat. You stare at the painting, at the glowing porch light, at the figure. You didn't notice these details before. You think. Strange. Maybe a clever artistic detail you missed when you hung it up. The unease fades slightly, replaced by doubt. You try to brush off the feeling, returning your attention to unpacking. Still, a tiny question lingers, tugging at your thoughts each time you glance toward the hallway. An hour passes, maybe 2. You're still sorting boxes, only half focused. Your mind drifts again to that impossible light, that dark figure. You glance back at the painting and stumble backward, colliding hard against the opposite wall. Now, there are 2 figures. 2 distinct dark shapes, standing clearly in front of the painted house. Just beyond the porch, facing outward, facing the hallway, facing you. A jolt of raw animal fear surges through your body, stealing your breath. Your heart pounds frantically against your ribs, drumming wildly in the silence. They look real, and they're looking at you. Panic rushes through you, hot then cold. You can't breathe with this thing here. Can't keep passing it, waiting helplessly for the next impossible shift. It has to go. Right now. Your hands tremble as you snatch the painting from the wall. You avoid looking directly at it, afraid it might stare back. Holding it face in against your chest, you cradle it protectively, like something fragile, dangerous, alive. Your feet move automatically, fast and desperate, not to another room, but downstairs, to the back door. You fumble clumsily with the lock, panic making your fingers stiff. You hurry onto the porch, heading straight for the metal garbage cans near the fence. You wrench open a heavy lid, the metallic clang loud and sharp. Shoving the painting inside, you bury the disturbing image under trash bags. Out of the house, out of sight, buried, done. The next morning, relief washes over you as you awaken. Finally, the painting is gone. Now, you can enjoy your new home in peace. Eventually, you gather the courage to step outside the bedroom and into the hallway. But as you do, your breath catches sharply. It's back. The painting hangs perfectly straight, precisely where it was before. But that's impossible. You threw it away yourself. You buried it deep in the trash. The unreality hits you like a physical blow. Your brain refuses to process what your eyes clearly see. You stand frozen, staring helplessly at the painting. The porch light in the painted scene glows softly once again. It shouldn't. It can't. Your gaze moves slowly to the figure by the door. Its hand is raised now, reaching toward the painted house's door. A clear, deliberate gesture. Your stomach twists violently. You stare at the painted hand, waiting. Knock, knock, knock. The sound echoes from downstairs, drifting up the stairwell. A cold dread wraps tightly around you, suffocating, heavy. You can't move. Your feet feel nailed to the warped floorboards. That sound. It came from the front door downstairs. But the figure in the painting. It's right here. Hand raised to knock. A painted gesture. A real sound. The 2 realities collide violently in your mind, shattering all logic. Your thoughts loop frantically, searching for a connection that shouldn't exist. All you can do is stare at the painting, at that figure, its raised hand. Reality warps around you, leaving only the painting as truth in this impossible moment. This can't be happening. Your brain screams in protest, but it falls on deaf ears. You squeeze your eyes shut, wishing the sight away. A choked whimper escapes your throat. You plead for the hallway to be empty when you open them, for the sound to have been the house settling, for the painting to be back outside where you left it. Just let this not be real. When you force them open again, the painted door is open. A sudden, unbelievable black rectangle in the familiar image. A gaping, absolute darkness stretched from the frame. It looked unbelievably deep, like looking into a void within the picture, and seemed to pull the hallway light towards it. A raw scream tried to tear from your throat, but it came out as a strangled gasp. Your head whips towards the stairs, towards the front door downstairs. Through the railing you could see it. Still shut, still closed, just a normal door. But that darkness in the painting, that open painted door, it ignites pure, consuming terror in your gut. You turn and bolt. Scrambling down the stairs, missing a step, stumbling as you run, heading straight for the door. Your heart is a frantic, panicked drum against your ribs. Yet the bottom gasping, reaching for the locks. Your hands shake, clumsy, refusing to obey. Click, thud, snap. The metallic clicks of the deadbolts offer a fragile, fleeting comfort as you throw every deadbolt, every chain, every lock you can find, piling barrier after barrier between you and whatever that was. Your hands drop from the locks, trembling. You turn immediately, pressing your back flat against the reinforced door. You close your eyes for just a second, pressing your spine into the solid wood. You take a shaky, hopeful breath. You feel the weight of the solid door at your back, the multiple locks holding firm. The threat was outside. You secured the barrier. You're safe now, aren't you? You push yourself away from the door, letting out a shaky breath, opening your eyes, and shapes darker than any shadow fill your vision. They are everywhere. The dim light doesn't quite reach, and even where it does, their forms fill the space, pushing out from the corners, standing between your boxes, by the furniture, solidifying into unnatural height and distorted, vaguely human shapes. They're the absence of light made physical, standing solid where light should be. Featureless voids that nonetheless feel intensely, undeniably watchful. They drink the dim light of the hallway, the faint light from the windows, making the room around them darker just by being there. You can feel the unnatural cold radiating from them. They are here inside. Your mind screams in denial. A choked whimper escapes your throat. You squeeze your eyes shut, wishing the sight away. You plead for the hallway to be empty when you open them, for the sound to have been the house settling, for the painting to be back outside where you left it. Just let this not be real. When you manage to open your eyes again, suddenly they are right in front of you, terrifyingly close. The air around them feels colder, sharper, and in the light they steal, their distorted forms seem less like simple shadows and more like solid voids carved into the air. Horribly wrong things, their presence more solid, the silent watching more focused, more palpable, more hungry, more terrifying. A cold truth settles over you, heavy and final. The door wasn't their entrance. In Avilla, my dear ravens, your house stands. You hung its painting on your wall. But that painting was more than just an image. It was a way in, not through the door you thought to lock. These shadows came another way. They followed you home regardless. This is Lady Lenore, guiding you back to the light, if only for a moment. Sleep well, my children of the dark, and if you wish to return to the shadows again, strike the like button, subscribe, and let the bell guide your way back. And tell me, Raven, what horrors have followed you home? Leave your story in the comments, if you dare.